Carissa, and if you'll recall, this was one of the cards that I did for the soldiers, and I just love the way this one turned out. And so this is the first one that I'm going to do kicking it up a notch, as I called it. And it seemed to be the most popular one with like the 5 of you who comment. So I'm going to do this one first. So what I'm going to start out with, these are all the pieces I'm going to use. I kind of had something else planned out, but it didn't work out. So hopefully I will like this, because I had something in my head that I was going to do. And you know when you have your like head set on something, you know how like disappointing it can be when it doesn't work out the way that you want it to. I've never put this card together. This is just the design I have done in my head. And so generally when I make videos, I kind of allow the creative process to happen in front of you so that you can see kind of how I work. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I have a plan ahead of time, but most of the time I let it happen just right in front of you. So this is the wood grain stamp set. It's a background stamp from Stampin' Up. And this is my Noel. I cut it with an electronic die cutting machine. And I'm just going to lay this over. Now, when I laid it over, I made sure that one of those notches was on the E, because that's what I did. Let me reach over here and grab a piece of scrap paper. That's what I did on the original card, and I really liked the way that that turned out. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just rubbing just to make sure I get a good stamped image on there. And then my thought is that I am going to take this out and emboss this. So let me grab my white embossing powder here. We'll see how this turns out. Like I said, I haven't done this before. I do it for you on camera, and it's gonna take me a minute to cover this. Okay, so I have this all embossed now, and what I'm going to do is I have a shadow piece cut in chocolate chip. On the original card it was black, basic black, textured cardstock on both of them, but I'm going to use some designer paper that has the chocolate chip in it, so rather than use black, I'm going to use brown on this one. So this is just a 2-way glue pen. I'm trying not to get it all over my mat. Might want to have a scratch piece of paper if you were smart, which sometimes I am not. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. If I was smart, I'd have one around right now, doing this on top. The reason I'm using 2-way glue and not like the snail is because it has like these little tiny pieces that I really want to stick well. So you gotta work fast with it though. And then I'm just gonna mount it right on top of that shadow piece. So while I'm doing this, I can explain to you my vision for this card. My vision for this card is kind of like a wreath on a door. That's where I'm going with this. So I have my wood grain here, and with my O, which you're going to see in just a minute, I'm going to try to appear like, give you the feel like this is the wood door and there's a wreath on it. So anyway, we'll see if we get that impression in the end. Okay, so this is all adhered, and this is it's the same size O, and it's just cut in a different color. So my idea is to take this, I'm going to use dimensionals to adhere this to the red piece. Da-da-da. Okay. So my idea is to take this, let's see if I can get it right here. Put this here. So this is going to be my wreath, and this is like my door, wood grain door, kinda. Just get that's the image I have in my head. So there's that, and then I'm going to take It's a little bow that I just tied ahead of time, put that on there with a glue dot, and then I have these little rhinestones that I'm going to put on there as my holly berries. So I'm going to do that, and then I will get back to the rest of the card with you. Okay, so now I have some of my other pieces here for the card, and I set that Noel aside, and I'm going to save it for a big reveal at the end. This is the swirly stamp from Baroque Motifs, and it's one of my favorites, actually. And this is just a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 old olive cardstock, and I'm just stamping kind of a little background on this. So I'm gonna go like that and then like that. So that's then I have a piece of designer series paper, and I'll have to look up, I can't remember what the pack is called, but just a strip there, and it's, I believe, like 1.5 inches by 5 inches. This is a piece of garden green. It measures about 1.25 inches by 5 inches, but it's just going to be peeking out from behind this designer series paper, so just as long as you have enough to, you know, get you the desired look you're going for on this. So I'm just punching it, and I hope I wasn't doing that whole thing off screen. I wasn't paying attention very well. Okay, so there's that, and trying to work quickly here. This goes here. Actually, let's go like this. So I'm just gonna, can you see this? This is the paper, this is the designer series paper, and I am just going to leave about that much poking out. Okay, that's like that, and then this is gonna go right there. See? Now, can you imagine if I had done all the cards for the soldiers this involved? I mean, wow, I would be working until Christmas, and then they wouldn't get them in time. But like I said, this is my kicked up a notch version. So let's see, that goes right like this. That goes like that. So there is that piece. Let me pull this aside. And then this is a garden green card base. So it matches this color and then the O on the Noel. So this just gets adhered to my card base. And just center it. It's good. So actually that's kind of cute like that, but I have that really fancy Noel to put on there. So let me bring it in. Da, 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 da. There it is with my little rhinestones on it. Now if you didn't have rhinestones, you could use like red brads, you could use glitter and glue, and you know, do your kind of holly look that way. Let me put this down. I want to get this glued down. So I decided to go ahead and use dimensionals to put this down, and this is going to be one seriously thick card, so it may be one of those that I just like hand to somebody in person. I don't see this going through the mail very well unless it's like inside a box or something. But I've got basically, you know, 2 layers of dimensionals plus the bow plus the rhinestones. So I'm not sure that this would mail so well, but it's super cute. So there it is. There is my Noel card kicked up a notch, and my inspiration was kind of, you know, like a wood grain door with a wreath on it for this part. And honestly, when I did the background also with the swirls, which you really can't see a whole lot of, I kind of was thinking of these snowflakes and like a snow flurry kind of, so that was my inspiration for that. So there is the first soldier card kicked up a notch. I will turn it this way so you can see the dimension to it. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this card, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.